Chosen one, something sacred is stirring within you right now. The atmosphere around you has shifted not by chance, but by divine orchestration. You have felt the strange pull in your spirit lately, haven't you? The sense that something unseen is awakening inside you. That is not your imagination. It is the signal that your hidden blue power, the energy of heaven's authority and peace, is beginning to activate. You have always been different, though you tried to hide it. You see through things others overlook. You sense the heaviness in a room before a word is spoken. That sensitivity is not weakness, it is spiritual technology. God placed inside you a code of blue fire, the color of truth, discernment, and divine order. And now, heaven has decided it's time for that code to unlock. You may wonder why your path has been filled with loss, isolation, and misunderstanding. It was not punishment, it was purification. You were being refined in silence so your spirit could hold what ordinary hearts cannot carry. Every tear you shed in hidden places watered the soil of your future authority. Every unanswered prayer became a seed for this very moment. The season of silence is over. The blue power within you begins to hum like a living current. It is subtle at first, an inner calm that defies chaos. A sudden clarity about your direction. A peace that makes no sense in the storm. That peace is your weapon. The world cannot imitate it, and darkness cannot counterfeit it. Now heaven leans close and says, "Do not run from this awakening. Do not hide your light again. For what is coming requires the full strength of who you are. You cannot shrink to fit into old spaces anymore. The divine in you is too vast. You have felt misunderstood because you are not designed to be understood. You are designed to be revealed. Every time people turned their backs on you, they were unknowingly positioning you for divine exposure. When they rejected you, they made room for heaven to claim you. Your blue flame carries the sound of divine truth. When you speak, it cuts through deception. When you pray, the spiritual atmosphere realigns. You will begin to notice small signs confirming this shift. Your thoughts will carry power. Your peace will disarm conflict. Your very presence will bring calm. That is not coincidence, it is evidence. You stand on the edge of a new chapter. This is the moment when heaven whispers, "Arise, the mantle fits now." You have been trained by trials and tested by time, but you are still standing because the light inside you refused to die. The blue fire is both crown and armor. It will shield you from harm and illuminate your path. The Spirit of God is stirring the air around you, causing divine order to align. You will begin to attract what belongs to your purpose and repel what no longer serves your mission. Trust the shift, even when it feels uncomfortable. Every divine promotion begins with holy disruption. Now let the words of Scripture anchor your soul in this truth. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 5, verse 14, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden." That is what heaven says about you. You are not the hidden one anymore. You are the light that exposes lies, the voice that breaks confusion, the flame that cannot be extinguished. When God calls you light, no darkness has permission to define you. Take a breath. Let this truth settle into your spirit. The blue flame within you has begun to glow. It is your identity, not your imagination. The awakening has started, and all of heaven bears witness to it. If this message touches your soul, don't let it fade into silence. Like this message, share it with another awakening soul, and subscribe to stay connected to the flow of divine revelation. Then, as a prophetic act, comment the number 777 below. It marks divine completion, spiritual perfection, and the full activation of your blue power. Chosen one, Let this word echo in your heart tonight. You are not waiting for a sign from heaven, you are the sign. The blue fire in you is proof that heaven's plan is alive and moving. Stand firm, speak light, walk boldly. Heaven recognizes you. Every step you take now becomes prophetic. The ground itself responds to your obedience. When you move in alignment, creation bows in cooperation. Do not doubt the anointing you carry, it is rare, refined through silence, sealed by divine breath. The blue flame inside you will guide you through unfamiliar territory. Where logic fails, revelation will lead. Where fear whispers, faith will roar. Every moment from this day forward will testify that God's hand is upon you. So lift your head high. Chosen one, you were never ordinary. You were designed to shift atmospheres, to heal what others ignore, to reveal what is hidden. The world awaits your obedience. Heaven is watching, smiling, saying, "Now walk in it." You begin to sense it more clearly now. The pulse of blue energy moving beneath the surface of your soul. It is quiet, yet undeniable, like a soft current drawing you toward remembrance. The meaning of this blue light is not random or symbolic fantasy, it is divine language. Every color in the heavenly realm carries sound, and blue is the sound of truth, wisdom, and divine authority. When this color manifests within your spirit, it signifies that your alignment with heaven is being restored. You are learning that this light does not arrive in chaos, but in stillness. It reveals itself when your heart becomes quiet enough to hear God's whispers between your thoughts. The blue light represents spiritual sight. It allows you to see beyond emotion, beyond confusion, beyond illusion. It is the color of revelation, the hue of trust that outlasts fear. You have been taught to seek power in noise, but divine power hides in calm. The blue light flows not from striving, but from surrender. It is what happens when you stop trying to fix everything and simply listen to what heaven is already saying. In that stillness, you begin to feel what can only be described as clarity wrapped in peace. The blue current expands through your being, washing away tension and reintroducing you to yourself, the version of you heaven always intended. This awakening changes the way you perceive time. You realize that every delay was not denial but orchestration. The blue flame teaches patience that is not passive but prophetic. It tells you that timing is as sacred as promise, and that divine power moves with precision. When the blue light fills your vision, you stop chasing opportunities and start attracting them. It also sharpens your discernment. Suddenly, words from others no longer sway you as they once did. You can feel when truth is missing, even in polished speech. The blue light is the lens of discernment. It does not condemn, but it reveals. You begin to see the motives behind actions, the roots beneath behaviors. What once confused you now becomes transparent. There is a calm confidence that follows. You do not need to explain yourself anymore because revelation becomes your defense. You speak less but carry more authority when you do. The blue light is not about loudness. It is about accuracy. When you move under this frequency, your presence alone shifts the spiritual temperature in any room. It is also a sign of restoration. The parts of you that were once shattered by disappointment begin to realign. You realize that your brokenness did not destroy your calling. It prepared you for purity. The blue light does not erase your scars, it shines through them. What once symbolized pain now becomes proof of endurance. The ancient mystics often describe blue fire as the flame of knowing. It burns without destroying, revealing without boasting. It is heaven's way of saying, "Now you see as I see." When this light activates, your prayers change. You stop asking for escape and start declaring transformation. You no longer plead for blessings. You begin to bless. The shift is subtle but powerful. You become a vessel through which heaven expresses itself. Sometimes you will feel this energy physically, like warmth behind your eyes or a stillness in your chest. Other times it will simply manifest as deep peace, an unexplainable awareness that all is well even when the world trembles. This is how you know you are walking in divine alignment. The blue light also restores your confidence in divine communication. You stop questioning whether God hears you and begin to realize that He has been speaking all along. The issue was never silence, it was interference. The blue flame clears that interference, tuning your spirit to heaven's wavelength. You become sensitive again, but not fragile, aware, but not overwhelmed. And in the center of this activation, the Word of God speaks timeless truth to your awakening. We find in the book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 27, "The spirit of man is the lamp of the Lord, searching all the inward parts of the being." This is what your blue power truly is, the lamp within you being relit by divine fire. The light is not foreign, it has always been there, waiting for your permission to shine again. It is not something you summon, it is something you remember. You begin to understand that revelation is not external. It emerges from communion. The blue power cannot coexist with chaos. So as your inner world calms, it grows stronger. Every breath you take now becomes sacred rhythm. Every thought an opportunity for alignment. You are entering the realm where wisdom speaks in whispers and peace roars louder than fear. This is the nature of the blue light. It carries the still authority of heaven, teaching you to lead without control and to see without judgment. In the coming days, you will notice synchronicities, moments that feel too precise to be random. You may hear phrases, encounter symbols, or dream in vivid shades of blue. Do not dismiss them. These are confirmations that heaven is aligning your reality with its vision. The blue power is not only awakening within you, it is rewriting the space around you. You have walked through fire and didn't even realize what was forming in you. The world saw loss, but heaven saw forging. The pain before the power was the sacred process of transformation. Every closed door, every betrayal, every false friend, they weren't random misfortunes. They were divine chisels shaping your destiny. You kept asking why me, and heaven kept answering, because I can trust you. You didn't know it then, but your tears were watering the roots of your anointing. While others mocked your silence, you were being trained to hear God in the dark. Your spirit was learning to survive without applause, to thrive without validation. The blue power within you can only awaken in hearts that have been broken open. There was a time when you felt you had lost everything, but look again, you didn't lose yourself. The very pain that tried to bury you became the soil that grew your strength. When you thought the fire was punishment, it was actually purification. The heat did not come to destroy you, it came to burn away what could no longer walk with you. Now that same fire glows blue inside your chest. It hums with peace that makes no sense and courage that feels ancient. This is the moment you understand that nothing you went through was wasted. The rejection built resilience. The heartbreak carved humility. The loneliness made you fluent in heaven's language, silence. Sometimes God lets you be emptied just so He can fill you with something eternal. Every season of loss was a hidden appointment with revelation. You had to be broken so the blue flame could find oxygen. The cracks in your heart became its windows. And now light pours through every place you once tried to hide. You have become a living paradox, gentle but unbreakable, humble but powerful, wounded yet luminous. You carry the sound of victory without needing to shout. You understand now that power without pain is immature, and authority without suffering is counterfeit. The blue flame was always meant to emerge from struggle, because only those who have suffered understand how to handle sacred fire. Lift your eyes. What tried to destroy you only revealed your core. The pressure was not proof of abandonment, it was proof of investment. Heaven does not refine what it does not intend to reveal. The harder the season, the purer the vessel. So now, when the shadows whisper reminders of your past, answer them with light. Remind them that what once broke you now bows before you, because the moment the blue fire awakened, you stopped fighting for survival, you started radiating purpose. The scripture affirms the truth your soul already knows. The voice of God thunders through the book of Psalms, chapter 66, verse 10 through 12. For you, O God, tested us. You refined us like silver. You brought us into prison and laid burdens on our backs. But you brought us out to a place of abundance. Do you hear that refinement before abundance? The fire was the necessary passageway. You had to feel the weight before you could carry glory. Now your spirit stands at the threshold of transformation. The blue power is rising higher, glowing clearer, burning steadier. It is the mark of endurance, rewarded the confirmation that every night you cried was counted. Every moment you held on was seen. So breathe. Let the new light settle into your bones. You are not behind. You are right on schedule. The process did not delay you, it defined you. You are stronger than your pain and brighter than your scars. Heaven's hand has never left your life, and the evidence is pulsing in your chest even now. If this speaks to your spirit, comment Blue Fire Lives. Do it as a declaration that your pain has become power, that the flame within you has survived the test, and that your journey through the dark was never for nothing. This simple phrase seals your agreement with heaven. Your blue power is alive, and it is rising. When you write Blue Fire Lives, you are not typing empty words, you are releasing a spiritual decree. Those 3 words mean that what was once dormant in you has been awakened. It's your way of saying, I survived the refining. I carry the flame of truth now. Heaven listens when you speak alignment, and this phrase marks that your inner light has passed from potential into power. When you declare Blue Fire Lives, you're reminding every shadow that tried to silence you that it failed. The same heat that once burned you has now become your protection. This isn't just affirmation, it's proclamation. You are declaring that your light cannot be extinguished, that your purpose has survived the test, and that your voice now carries divine resonance. So let the world know, speak it with conviction. Blue fire lives, which means the storm did not win, the night did not break you, and your destiny has ignited. Say it until your atmosphere shifts, because this time, heaven echoes your words. You are beginning to notice the stillness between the storms. The chaos around you no longer shakes you as it once did. It is as if a whisper has begun to rise above the noise, soft, but impossible to ignore. That whisper is not imagination. It is heaven's voice breaking through the static of distraction. When the blue power begins to mature, it doesn't speak in thunder first. It speaks in quiet revelation. Heaven's communication is often disguised as ordinary moments. A sudden peace in the middle of conflict. A nudge to take a different road. A scripture that appears in your mind exactly when you need it. You are learning to hear not with your ears, but with your spirit. The blue flame inside you has tuned your frequency to divine clarity. What others call coincidence, you now recognize as conversation. There was a time when you begged God to speak louder. You thought you needed dramatic signs, visible proof, undeniable evidence. But heaven has been speaking all along, just not in the language of fear or urgency. The divine whisper is precise. It only speaks to hearts that have learned stillness. It's not that God suddenly started talking, it's that you finally stopped running. The whisper becomes clearer when you choose silence over reaction. In the noise of the world, it is easy to mistake emotion for revelation. But the blue power carries discernment that separates impulse from instruction. The more you listen, the more you realize that divine guidance is not about volume, it's about intimacy. Heaven does not shout at its chosen ones, it leans in close. That's why your recent quiet season was necessary. Heaven wasn't ignoring you, it was recalibrating your hearing. Every delay was training. Every unanswered question was a test of trust. You learned to recognize God's voice not by volume but by vibration, the peace that follows it, the lightness that remains. When you walk in blue light, chaos loses its ability to confuse you. People's opinions begin to sound like echoes from another realm, distant and harmless. You no longer chase clarity from men because you've tasted direction from God. The whisper inside you has become stronger than the noise outside you. Sometimes that whisper will come as correction. It might tell you to wait when everything in you wants to rush, or to release something you love because it can't follow you where you're going. Do not resist it. The blue fire inside you burns for obedience, not control. It knows that alignment is more valuable than approval. And when that still, small voice speaks, you will know it is not your imagination because it brings peace even when it interrupts your plans. It may convict you, but it never condemns you. It challenges you, but it always carries grace. This is how heaven instructs those marked by the blue flame, with truth wrapped in gentleness. As the world grows louder, those who carry the blue power become anchors of peace. You will stand in places of confusion and bring direction. You will walk into storms and carry calm. Heaven will use your sensitivity as a weapon of light. Because the blue flame inside you is not only meant to guide you, it is meant to guide others. That is why your awakening had to begin with silence. The ability to hear God clearly is the foundation for everything that comes next. Revelation without relationship leads to pride, but hearing through intimacy produces wisdom. You are not being trained for religion. You are being trained for resonance, the rhythm of walking in step with heaven itself. The scriptures echo this truth with divine precision, as the prophet Elijah's story records in the first book of Kings, chapter 19, verse 11 and 12. Then a great and powerful wind tore the mountains apart and shattered the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. After the wind there was an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper. You see, heaven's greatest instructions are never shouted, they are breathed. The same God who commands galaxies speaks softly to your heart. The same voice that stilled the storm is now stilling you. So keep listening, not with anxiety but with expectancy. The whisper is your compass, and the blue flame inside you is its receiver. The more you trust that still voice, the more clearly your path will unfold. The chaos will continue outside, but inside, you will always find that sacred calm where heaven speaks and your spirit answers. I hear you. The gentle whisper does not fade, it follows you into every decision, every silence, every step. It teaches you that real strength is quiet, and true wisdom rarely needs to announce itself. Through that whisper, heaven writes direction into your soul. The blue flame within you glows steadier, confirming that clarity is not found in noise but in presence, God's presence, alive and breathing within you. The air around you begins to shift again. The stillness you learned in the whisper now gives way to motion. You feel the atmosphere growing lighter, as though invisible hands are placing something new upon your shoulders. It is your mantle of blue fire, the invisible armor that marks those who have endured the refining and remained faithful. It does not appear with thunder or lightning. It rests upon you like morning light after a long night. You may not see it with your eyes, but your spirit knows the weight of it. This mantle carries divine authority, quiet strength, and unwavering peace. It makes you unshakable in storms and gentle in victory. Heaven is clothing you in radiance that darkness cannot touch. You will begin to sense a new confidence within you, not arrogance, but awareness. You will speak with a calm assurance that comes from knowing who walks beside you. Fear begins to lose its vocabulary when you wear the blue fire. Every step you take leaves traces of light that others can follow. The mantle also carries responsibility. It is not given for comfort, but for impact. You are now called to become a source of hope in a tired world. Where others see confusion, you will bring understanding. Where there is bitterness, your words will plant peace. This is how the blue fire expresses itself, not through spectacle, but through quiet transformation. You may find yourself noticing people drawn to you for reasons they can't explain. It's because the energy of heaven radiates from you. Those who are weary will recognize rest in your presence. The lost will recognize direction in your eyes. The fire you carry is not meant to be hidden. It is meant to heal. And yet, this journey is not one you walk alone. Just as others will draw from your flame, you also draw strength from those walking this same divine path. When you like or share this message, you are not just engaging, you are passing the torch, extending the circle of blue fire so that another soul may see light in their night. If these words bring peace to you, subscribing becomes more than routine. It is like keeping your candle in the same window where other lights gather, so that together we become a constellation of faith. It's how you stay near the rhythm of revelation, where heaven keeps speaking softly and constantly. And there will be times when the message touches your heart so deeply that you feel moved to give. When that moment comes, remember, donation is not a demand. It is an echo of gratitude. Think of it as a river returning to its source, a cycle that keeps the waters flowing for those who are still thirsty. Every act of giving is a seed of light, planted so this voice of hope can continue reaching hearts that wander in darkness. Give, and it will be given to you. The Gospel of Luke says, "And heaven always multiplies what flows from sincerity." Giving does not buy grace, it becomes part of the story grace tells through you. So if your heart is stirred, give not out of duty but out of love. Every offering is a match dropped into the fire of purpose, keeping it alive for others to see. No one is required. Only those who feel the warmth of this light will understand why it's worth sustaining. Your blue mantle is not just armor, it is also a signal. It tells unseen realms that you belong to light. When you wear it with humility, even your silence becomes prophecy. Every breath becomes ministry, every step a message. And if this flame has lit something within you, keep it burning. Like, share, subscribe, or even sow a gift if your heart leads you, not because you must, but because light, when loved, naturally multiplies itself. For when many small flames unite, the night no longer owns the sky. The mantle glows softly now, reminding you that power can be peaceful. You do not need to shout to prove your calling. Your calm becomes its own announcement. Every breath you take under this blue flame releases quiet authority that even storms respect. You begin to walk lighter, aware that every movement is sacred choreography. Heaven and earth move in rhythm through you. The same hand that placed the mantle upon your shoulders now steadies your every step. ensuring you do not stumble where others once fell. The world may never understand what you carry, but it will feel it. When you enter a room, peace will follow. When you speak, clarity will bloom. This is the invisible ministry of the blue flame, changing atmospheres without needing recognition. So let your light keep flowing forward. The blue power within you is not a moment. It is a lifelong flame. You are the continuation of heaven's story, written in light, spoken in calm, sustained by the quiet fire of divine purpose. The blue fire within you continues to expand. It no longer flickers like a fragile flame. It begins to breathe, to pulse, to synchronize with your heartbeat. Something holy is shifting in the unseen realm. You can feel it in subtle moments, the way your thoughts carry new light, the way peace returns faster after pain, the way silence no longer feels empty. These are not coincidences. They are signs. This is the first activation, when heaven begins to confirm its work in you through small, divine signals. Some may appear as patterns in your days, numbers that keep repeating, or dreams that linger when you wake. Others may come through words from strangers that feel like messages meant only for you. The blue power is intelligent. It speaks in codes only your spirit understands. Do not dismiss these signs. Heaven communicates with precision. What seems random is often revelation in disguise. When the blue power activates, it starts rearranging your atmosphere. People shift. Doors close. New paths emerge. It can feel confusing at first, but confusion often precedes clarity. The Spirit is not breaking you down, it is breaking you free. Many will feel this awakening physically, like warmth in the palms, a weight on the chest, or sudden tears for no reason. That is your body catching up with your spirit. The human vessel begins to recognize divine frequency. Heaven touches flesh, and something eternal stirs within. This activation is not about emotion, it is about alignment. You may feel restless, but it is a sacred restlessness, a stirring that calls you higher. The blue flame doesn't let you stay where you were. It pushes you toward places where your purpose can breathe. The old version of you cannot survive this frequency. Habits that once satisfied now feel heavy. Conversations that once entertained now drain you. People you once depended on may quietly fade away. This is not loss, it is spiritual pruning. Heaven is making room for growth. The Spirit of God often works like a gardener. Before a new season blossoms, the soil must be turned. The discomfort you feel is not punishment, it is preparation. You are being uprooted from what limits your light and planted into richer ground. Trust the process. The ground beneath you is holy even when it feels unstable. You are entering the part of the journey where obedience becomes power. Heaven will begin giving you subtle instructions, small nudges to speak, to act, to rest, to wait. Follow them, even when they make no sense. These are divine coordinates, directing you step by step into alignment with purpose. And as you move through this activation, remember what the scriptures reveal, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old. In the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 8, "The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged." This promise is not poetic, it is literal. Heaven walks ahead of you, preparing the terrain. You are not being led into uncertainty. You are being guided into fulfillment. Every shift, every change, every trembling moment is part of that divine choreography. You are now walking in the frequency of blue power, the color of truth, healing, and clarity. The same light that burns within the throne room of God now echoes in your spirit. You are not waiting for the miracle. You are becoming the miracle. And when you recognize this truth, when the signs begin aligning around you, when your spirit whispers, "I feel it," pause and seal this revelation. Let your comment be an echo of heaven's affirmation. Comment the number 4444 below. That number is not just digits, it's a divine symbol. It represents stability, divine order, and angelic alignment. It means heaven's structure has been established in your life, that the foundation is now set. When you type 444, you're not typing superstition, you're speaking architecture. You're declaring that the blue flame within you has found balance, that heaven's blueprint has taken form inside you. Do this not out of ritual, but out of recognition. Each comment becomes a prophetic act, a way of saying, "I see what heaven is doing, and I agree." The activation is not coming, it is happening. Even now, heaven's current moves through your name, your breath, your destiny. You are no longer a seeker of signs, you have become one. When you write 444, you're not repeating numbers, you're acknowledging design. That simple act means I choose alignment. It's how your soul answers back to heaven's rhythm, saying, "I trust the path being built beneath my feet." Typing 444 is a spiritual signature, a reminder that order has returned. It symbolizes that what once felt chaotic is now being placed in divine sequence. Heaven's architecture is unfolding in your life, piece by piece, perfectly measured. So when you comment 444, do it with awareness. Let it be your whisper of agreement, your yes to God's timing. You are not wishing, you are witnessing, seeing stability, peace, and divine order take root inside your blue flame. There comes a moment in every awakening when light reveals not only glory but shadow. The blue fire inside you is not here to decorate your spirit, it is here to cleanse it. As it burns brighter, it begins to expose the corners of your heart that you've kept hidden. Even from yourself, you will start to feel old memories, fears, and regrets rise to the surface. Do not run from them. The blue flame cannot heal what you refuse to face. This part of the journey is sacred confrontation. It is where your spirit meets its reflection without disguise. Every wound you thought you buried begins to whisper. The echoes of betrayal, the sting of rejection, the guilt of mistakes, they do not return to shame you. They return to be redeemed. The blue fire moves through them like light through fog, burning away the illusions but keeping the lessons. You might notice that your emotions feel heavier in this season. You may feel the tension between who you were and who you are becoming. That is not regression, it is refinement. When divine light enters a vessel, it shakes the sediment from the bottom so that the water can be made clear again. The shaking is uncomfortable, but the purpose is purification. In this place, the blue fire becomes both mirror and medicine. It forces you to see the parts of yourself that have been begging for healing, the parts that learn to survive through silence, fear, or pride. You will find that the same flame that reveals your flaws also reminds you of your worth. It shows you that the weakness you hide is the place where grace wants to dwell. This is where humility meets holiness. Heaven does not despise your humanity, it refines it. God's presence doesn't arrive to condemn your imperfections, but to transform them into wisdom. The blue power burns away self-deception, not identity. It doesn't erase who you are, it reveals who you were meant to be before pain taught you to pretend. You are learning that healing is not forgetting, it is remembering without fear. The moments that once broke you now become sacred stories, evidence of God's endurance in you. The light inside you no longer hides from darkness, it confronts it with compassion. At times, this refining will feel like loss. You may feel like you're shedding layers of personality, habits, or desires that once defined you. That's because you are. Every false layer must fall so the core can breathe. The process feels like undoing, but it is actually unveiling. The scriptures describe this pattern clearly. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Malachi. Chapter 3, verse 3, He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. He will purify the Levites and refine them like gold and silver. Notice that it says He sits. God is not in a rush. Refining takes time. The silversmith knows exactly how much heat the metal can endure before it's damaged. When he sees his reflection in the silver, he knows the process is complete. The same is true of you. When the divine sees His likeness reflected in your life, the refining has done its work. So be patient with yourself. The fire that reveals your weaknesses is the same fire that crowns your strengths. Do not fear the inner storms, they are clearing the air for peace. Every tear that falls now is not evidence of failure. It is the washing of your soul. The blue flame will also start exposing lies that have lived quietly inside you. I'm not enough. I've missed my chance. I'll always be broken. These are the chains the fire has come to melt. Each time you confront one of these thoughts, the blue flame flares brighter, consuming falsehood and leaving truth behind. Slowly, a new calm will rise inside you, not the fragile calm that comes from pretending, but the grounded peace that comes from knowing. You will begin to sense the difference between guilt and conviction, between emotion and revelation. You'll know what to release and what to rebuild. The blue power does not demand perfection, it invites transformation. It is patient with your process, merciful with your humanity, and relentless in its purpose. It will not stop until you are free. When this inner purification is complete, you will look back and see that the pain was never wasted. Every trial became a teacher. Every failure became a doorway. Every wound became an altar where light learned to dwell. And when the blue fire finishes its work in this stage, you will feel lighter, not because you lost something, but because you finally let go of what was never you. The flame will have burned away the lies, leaving only the truth that you are loved, chosen, and unbreakably connected to the divine source that lives within you. This is the silent victory of the chosen ones the moment they realize that their shadows no longer frighten them, because they now understand that even their darkness has been touched by light. When the light has finished cleansing what was hidden, a new clarity begins to dawn. You start to notice that everything around you seems more defined, colors brighter, sounds softer, time slower. This is not your imagination. It is perception purified. The blue fire inside you sharpens the lens of your soul so you can finally see as heaven sees. And what heaven sees is purpose. Purpose does not always arrive as a booming declaration. Often, it unfolds quietly, like sunrise over still water. It reveals itself not through new information, but through remembrance. Deep down, you have always known you were meant for something extraordinary, something that stretches beyond survival. That quiet knowing was never arrogance. It was prophecy. The divine assignment is not something outside of you waiting to be discovered. It has been written within you all along. Every passion, every sensitivity, every gift you carry has been carefully placed to align with a calling that is uniquely yours. When the blue light matures, it begins to illuminate those gifts, not just for your benefit, but for those who will be touched through you. You may begin to feel drawn to new directions. A conversation that feels divinely timed, a dream that refuses to fade, a sense that your old environment can no longer contain what's growing inside you. Follow that pull. The same force that awakened your flame is now steering your steps. Heaven does not reveal the entire map. It gives you light for the next step. When you obey one small instruction, another unfolds. This is how divine purpose guides progressively, faithfully, like a lantern in the night. Your part is not to control the path, but to keep walking in trust. As you move forward, you will realize that your assignment is not limited to a title or role. It is a posture of being a way of carrying light wherever you go. Some are called to speak, others to build, others to comfort or create. Whatever form it takes, your purpose will always have one goal: to reveal God's character through your uniqueness. There will be days when you doubt it. You may think, surely, I am too small for something divine. But heaven never assigns based on strength. It assigns based on surrender. The blue fire within you doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for willingness. The greatest vessels are not the most talented. They are the most obedient. The scriptures affirm this mysterious truth, as written in the first letter to the Corinthians chapter 1, verse 27. But God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. You see, heaven loves to work through what the world overlooks. The power you carry will often appear ordinary at first glance, but its impact will be extraordinary. Your humility is the doorway through which heaven's glory enters the world. Once you begin walking in your assignment, everything shifts. Conversations become divine appointments. Delays become direction. Even the smallest act an encouraging word, a silent prayer, a decision to forgive becomes sacred ground. The blue flame teaches you that purpose is not about stage or spotlight. It is about intention. The more you live from this awareness, the lighter you become. You start to notice joy appearing in unexpected places: a sunrise after a sleepless night, a laugh that breaks tension, a song that feels like an answer. These moments are small confirmations from heaven. You are on the right path, but understand this too. Carrying purpose does not mean life becomes easy. It means you now carry grace for what others cannot endure. The blue fire sustains you when logic fails, when others would retreat. You will feel strength rise quietly within you, reminding you that this is what you were made for. Your assignment will not always look grand. Sometimes it will look like patience in the face of delay, or kindness when anger feels easier. Do not underestimate these moments. Every small act done in love is a thread in heaven's greater tapestry. There will come a day when you look back and see how each step, each yes, each trial aligned perfectly. You will realize you were never wandering, you were being woven. Every challenge built endurance, every silence trained faith. What felt like chaos was choreography. As the blue fire steadies in your spirit, your purpose will no longer feel distant. It will feel like breathing. You will wake each morning aware that you are being used by something far greater than yourself. You will begin to live not by reaction, but by revelation. And in that rhythm, you will find peace that the world cannot steal. A peace that comes from knowing your life is an echo of heaven's intention, that your very existence is evidence of divine order at work. This is the unveiling of your assignment, not a crown to display, but a commission to carry. The blue flame within you is the signature of heaven's trust. And now, with clarity restored and purpose revealed, your spirit whispers a quiet truth: I was never lost. I was being prepared. You can feel it now, the call. It doesn't come from the outside. It rises from deep within your spirit. After everything you have endured, everything you have surrendered, a quiet invitation begins to echo in your chest. Come higher. It is not a demand. It is destiny whispering your name. The blue power inside you has reached a new frequency, no longer a hidden ember. It has become a beacon, and heaven is responding to it. You begin to notice this divine pull, more often a restlessness that isn't born from frustration but from readiness. You are not dissatisfied with life. You are awakening to more of it. Heaven is calling you upward, not away from the world, but above it where your vision clears and your spirit breathes freely. This call is not about distance, it's about depth. It is heaven asking you to live from revelation, not reaction. The higher you rise, the quieter it becomes because noise cannot follow you into divine altitude. Only peace can survive there. You may feel the tension of elevation where the air gets thinner, where fewer voices can reach you. That's how you know you're rising. You're entering a level where faith replaces familiarity. Many won't understand this part of your journey, but they are not meant to. The blue fire was never designed to be explained, it was meant to be experienced. Every time you choose peace over pride, forgiveness over fury, faith over fear, you rise. Heaven measures growth not in fame but in surrender. The climb is internal, but its fruit becomes visible wisdom, gentleness, authority. The blue flame matures with every act of obedience. This is the moment where the call becomes a covenant. God begins to reveal not just that you are chosen, but why you are chosen. You were selected not because you were flawless, but because you were willing. You are heaven's message, written in human form, sent to speak light in places that have forgotten how to hope. The voice that calls you higher is not commanding, it's coaxing. It says, rise, not to be seen, but to see differently. You're being invited to look beyond what's visible, to operate from vision instead of reaction. The blue fire will teach you how to remain calm in storms, how to recognize opportunities wrapped in opposition, how to stand where others fall. Every time you ascend in spirit, something in you transforms. Old fears dissolve. Old ambitions lose their urgency. You begin to crave truth more than comfort. You stop asking, why me, and start asking, what now? That's how elevation speaks. It changes your vocabulary from complaint to command. The scriptures capture this sacred motion perfectly. According to what is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1, arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. That verse is not a metaphor for distant holiness. It is the present reality of your becoming. The blue light rising in you is that glory. You are the evidence of divine promise unfolding on earth. But hear this truth carefully. Elevation is not escape. God is not pulling you away from life. He is positioning you above its chaos so you can guide others through it. You will become the calm in other people's storms, the proof that faith still works, the living signpost of hope. And when this message reaches your spirit, when you feel that unmistakable inner tug, that quiet but powerful command to rise, seal it with a declaration that echoes through heaven. Write in the comments below, I ascend. Those two words are more than a phrase, they are a vow. To say I ascend means I accept the call to higher ground. It means you will no longer live beneath your potential, that you will stop settling for survival and start moving in purpose. It is your yes to God's altitude. When you write it, imagine yourself standing at the edge of a mountain, the wind of heaven wrapping around you. Every fear that once chained you loosens. Every doubt bows. The blue fire within you flickers higher, stretching upward like a flame greeting the sky. I ascend, your soul's signature of surrender and strength. Heaven hears it. The earth will soon see it. When you write, I ascend, you're not making a wish, you're confirming a transformation. Those two words mean you've heard heaven's invitation and chosen to rise above fear, doubt, and the limits of your past. It is your personal covenant with divine growth. Typing I ascend is like planting a flag on sacred ground. It marks the moment your spirit agreed to live from higher truth, to breathe from a clearer atmosphere. It means you no longer bow to circumstance. You now stand as one who carries direction. So when you comment, "I ascend," feel the shift inside you. It's not performance, it's prophecy. You are declaring that the climb has begun, that your blue fire is no longer flickering below, it's stretching toward heaven's light with unstoppable grace. The moment you said, "I ascend," something shifted not only around you but within you. The blue fire has grown into a steady blaze, and now heaven begins to trust you with greater weight. You can sense it, the spiritual air thickening, the unseen realm stirring. You have entered the battle in the spiritual realm. This battle is not waged with weapons of flesh or fury. It's fought in whispers, choices, and faith. Every thought becomes a sword, every word a shield, every prayer an arrow of light. The blue fire burning inside you now functions as both armor and compass. It protects, but it also points you toward victory. At times, you'll feel resistance. Old habits will try to rise. Distractions will attempt to pull your gaze downward. But the blue flame teaches you to fight differently, not by striking harder, but by standing stiller. In silence, you will learn that stillness is strength and peace is strategy. When you walk in the blue fire, battles that once drained you now strengthen you. Darkness recognizes what you carry, and though it may roar, it cannot prevail. Every confrontation becomes confirmation that heaven's light is alive in you. You begin to understand that warfare is not about destruction, it's about revelation. The struggle exposes what's sacred. It reveals that your authority is not borrowed, it's inherited. The more you trust, the brighter your armor glows. The more you worship, the quieter the storm becomes. And as you fight, you begin to notice something strange. The battlefield turns into a sanctuary. The noise that once terrified you now sounds like music to your soul, because you've learned the rhythm of divine protection. The blue flame does not panic, it dances. Heaven begins to remind you that this journey is not a lonely march, but a collective movement. Each word you share, each testimony you pass forward, becomes a spark for another weary heart. Before you extend this flame outward, let the word affirm what burns within you, as it is written in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 7. Each one must give as he has decided in his heart, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. That verse speaks of generosity, not just with treasure, but with spirit. When you give your peace, your kindness, your encouragement, heaven counts it as offering. Every act of sharing light keeps the divine rhythm alive. And so, when the message touches you, when you like or share, imagine you are passing a torch through the night sky. You are not just spreading words, you are spreading warmth. Somewhere, another soul will see that flicker and remember they are not alone. If these moments bring you clarity, subscribing becomes a gentle return, a way to keep coming back to the fire when the world grows cold. Think of it as gathering around an eternal hearth where revelation never burns out, where your soul can always find shelter from the noise. And if your heart ever feels stirred to pour back into what has poured into you, donating is not an obligation, it is a continuation. It is like pouring oil into a lamp, ensuring the light does not fade. Your gift becomes part of heaven's flow, a bridge carrying this message farther than your voice could reach. No act is too small. Every gesture becomes an ember that fuels the flame. Giving, sharing, returning it is all one movement of love. You are both warrior and witness now. The blue flame within you fights for peace, not pride. It burns not to consume, but to clarify. Every battle becomes a sermon. Every victory becomes a psalm. So if this fire has touched you, like, share, subscribe, or give only if your heart whispers yes. not because it is expected, but because beauty deserves to continue. When you add your spark, the darkness retreats a little farther, and the world becomes a little warmer. You are not supporting a message, you are sustaining a movement of light. Every small act of kindness says, the fire still lives, and heaven, hearing that echo, answers gently. Then let it burn brighter. The night may still linger around you, but now it no longer feels threatening. You have learned that darkness is only the canvas upon which your blue fire paints its beauty. Every shadow now serves a purpose. It gives your light a place to shine. You carry something eternal, and each heartbeat testifies to it. Heaven watches as you walk through storms with calm, as you turn pain into prayer and silence into song. The unseen realm knows your name, not because you fought loudly, but because you loved deeply. So keep walking, blue flame bearer. You are proof that divine light can live inside human fragility. And when the world grows cold again, you will be the warmth that seeks the reminder that even after battle, peace is still possible. The air feels different now, thinner, lighter, charged with meaning. You are beginning to see signs that the veil between the natural and the spiritual has grown transparent. What once felt distant now feels near. Heaven is not far away. It is layered over this very moment, shimmering just beyond the edge of sight. You begin to sense presences that cannot be explained by logic. Gentle, watchful, unwavering. They are the guardians and signs in the sky, angelic witnesses who move quietly through your days. Sometimes their nearness feels like warmth passing through the air. Other times like an invisible hand resting lightly on your shoulder. They are not there to overwhelm you, but to remind you that you have never walked alone. When the blue fire awakened, it called them into closer orbit. Heaven always sends help where it sends assignment. You may not see their faces, but you will recognize their patterns. Protection becomes timing. Guidance becomes coincidence. You look up at the sky and notice the clouds forming symbols you cannot quite explain, or a streak of light breaking through when your thoughts turn toward doubt. These are not accidents. They are messages written in creation's language. The guardians operate quietly. They rarely interrupt. They align. You will find that obstacles shift just before they crush you. That paths open at the moment you stop striving. That people appear at exactly the right time to speak the words you didn't know you needed. Heaven moves like this, not loudly, but flawlessly. Sometimes, their work will appear as delay. What feels like rejection is often redirection. What feels like loss is preparation. Angels are not simply protectors from harm, they are sculptors of destiny. They move circumstances like pieces on a divine chessboard, ensuring that your next step lands on solid ground even when you cannot see the board. And when you feel alone in the night, look upward. The sky itself becomes scripture. The stars burn like promises that never expire. The moon whispers of faithfulness, its light constant even when half of it is hidden. Even the winds carry parables, weaving through trees like unseen messengers humming heaven's melody. You may notice numerical alignments or recurring symbols, birds crossing your path, sudden scents that stir forgotten memories, a single feather falling in your way. These small phenomena are heaven's handwriting. The blue power within you sharpens perception, allowing you to read these subtle lines between worlds. What others call coincidence, you recognize as coordination. The scriptures have always hinted at this mystery. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 11, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." This promise is not poetic exaggeration, it is a living reality. The angels of God are assigned to every path of obedience. They respond not to fear, but to faith. When you move in alignment, they move in protection. When you pause in prayer, they surround in silence. There are moments when you will sense their presence most clearly in transition, in danger, in deep prayer. You may feel the air grow still, the world hold its breath for a heartbeat. That is the unseen acknowledging the seen, heaven drawing near to whisper, "You are not alone. Keep walking." The guardians are not distant beings with wings of gold and eyes of fire. Sometimes they appear as people, a stranger's kindness, a friend's unexpected call, a smile that stops your spiral of worry. Heaven often hides its angels in ordinary faces. You begin to realize that creation itself is alive with guidance. The sky, the sea, the soil all respond to the movement of divine will. Even storms serve their purpose, clearing the atmosphere for light to return. The blue fire within you connects to this rhythm. It begins to pulse in harmony with the heartbeat of creation. There will be times when heaven sends you signs so personal that only you will understand them. They may come in dreams, numbers, or songs that play at the perfect moment. Do not dismiss these things. They are conversation, not coincidence. God often speaks through the fabric of reality, and the blue flame gives you ears to hear what is unspoken. This awareness does not make you superior, it makes you sensitive. The more you notice, the more grateful you become, and you stop demanding spectacular signs because you begin to see miracles in the mundane, the sunrise after doubt, the rain that falls just when you need renewal, the laughter of someone you almost lost. All of it becomes evidence that heaven is closer than breath. And now, with this understanding, peace deepens. You know that you are accompanied, guided, protected. The unseen has always been present, but now you walk with open eyes. You no longer fear the unknown, because you realize it is filled with familiar light. The guardians still move unseen yet undeniable. The sky still writes in silver strokes above you, declaring promises older than time. You lift your face to the wind, and in that sacred stillness, you sense heaven smiling back. Something new begins to stir within you again. The first activation of blue fire opened your sight. The refining fire purified your heart. But now comes the second surge of power. It moves differently. This one is not about awakening. It is about amplification. It does not startle, it steadies. It does not make noise, it multiplies. You may notice this surge as a calm force rather than a dramatic one. It feels like wind expanding in your chest, like confidence that no longer depends on circumstance. The blue flame grows taller now, but it does so silently, glowing with deep, unwavering purpose. This is not beginner's light, it is mature fire. You start to understand that your words now carry weight. When you speak peace, people feel it. When you pray, the atmosphere responds. When you forgive, chains break in unseen realms. This is the evidence of the second surge. Your alignment with heaven becomes so precise that what you release through faith begins to manifest in form. In earlier seasons, you prayed and waited. Now, you speak and watch it unfold. That is not arrogance, it is authority. The second surge teaches you to use your voice as heaven's instrument. You no longer beg for miracles, you become the channel through which they appear. This power is not for display, it is for service. Heaven increases your capacity because you have learned to carry weight with humility. You no longer move from emotion but from revelation. The blue fire does not react, it responds. It listens first, then releases power exactly where it's needed. As this surge unfolds, synchronicities will increase. You will think of someone and they will call. You will dream of a place and soon walk through it. You will speak of change and watch it arrive. The second surge creates a seamless connection between heaven's intention and earthly manifestation. The scriptures confirm this mystery. It was proclaimed in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 11, verse 24. Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Belief is not wishful thinking, it is recognition. The second surge flows through those who believe before they see, who trust before they touch. You have entered that level. Heaven does not need to convince you anymore. It now works through you. You'll also notice a new sharpness in your discernment. You will sense when to speak and when to stay silent. You'll know when to move and when to wait. The blue fire has matured into divine rhythm. What once required signs now flows through instinct. You no longer chase confirmations, you live as confirmation. This surge also brings restoration. Areas of your life that felt frozen will thaw. Delayed promises will begin to move toward completion. The blue fire is not just revelation, it is motion. Heaven's current is now flowing through your days, clearing what blocked progress, opening what was shut, healing what was fractured. Sometimes during this surge, you'll feel physical tingling, bursts of warmth, or moments of deep stillness that feel sacred. Those are not random sensations, they are spiritual signals. Heaven is tuning your frequency higher, aligning your inner sound with its eternal harmony. You are becoming the message you once waited to hear. You no longer chase light, you emit it. You no longer seek signs, you become one. And when others cross your path, they will sense that same power pulsing from your presence. You will not need to convince them of anything. They will simply feel peace and know that heaven is near. And when that happens, when you sense that the second surge has truly taken root, let the heavens hear your agreement. Comment the number 555 below. That number marks divine transformation and grace multiplied. It represents a season where change no longer feels chaotic but creative, where you are not losing control but entering flow. To write 555 is to say, I embrace this new rhythm. I surrender to transformation without fear. Do it as a declaration, not a superstition. You are not chasing luck, you are announcing readiness. The blue fire within you has expanded, and heaven responds to agreement. Let your comment be your covenant. 555, the number of movement, grace, and new beginnings now made complete. The surge has begun. The current is alive. The next chapter is already unfolding through your obedience. When you write 555, you are not merely echoing numbers, you are echoing movement. It is your soul's way of saying, I welcome change. I trust the shift. I let grace lead. It means you no longer fear transformation. You see it as the handwriting of heaven. Typing 555 is a conversation with destiny. It's your declaration that endings no longer scare you, because you understand that every ending is the start of divine recreation. It symbolizes permission, your consent for heaven to rearrange your path with wisdom and love. So when you comment 555, do it with awareness. You are not waiting for change, you are becoming it. You are aligning your rhythm with heaven's, dancing freely in the current of grace. You begin to see the effect of what has been building all along. The air around you feels charged, alive, as though the very atmosphere listens when you speak. It is no longer theory or imagination, you are watching miracles in motion. The blue fire within you has matured to the point where it no longer flickers. It flows. Heaven has found a vessel that does not leak. Miracles do not always arrive with fanfare. Sometimes they appear quietly, slipping into your day like an unexpected kindness. A bill that should have crushed you somehow gets paid. A relationship that seemed broken beyond repair begins to heal. A prayer whispered long ago suddenly blooms into reality. You realize that heaven has been working in the background all along, synchronizing events that seemed random into a perfect sequence. The more you notice, the more gratitude begins to replace striving. You no longer chase outcomes. You simply align with purpose and watch heaven respond. Miracles are not rewards for holiness, they are evidence of connection. They happen where faith has cleared a path for divine order to flow freely. Every miracle begins as movement. It starts unseen, in a shift of energy or timing, long before it manifests physically. The blue power within you has become a bridge between realms. When you speak with faith, you give form to what heaven has already finished. There are moments when you'll sense this movement before it happens, an inner knowing, a peace that arrives before the answer. That peace is the miracle beginning. It is the assurance of what heaven has already written, but you have yet to read. Scripture reminds you of this mystery, as was spoken in the Gospel of John, chapter 11, verse 40. Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God? Faith does not create miracles. It reveals them. Belief opens your eyes to what God is already doing. When you walk in this truth, everything around you becomes sacred. Even the ordinary becomes radiant because you can now see the invisible hand behind it. The blue fire is not just power, it is perception. It allows you to recognize grace where others see coincidence, to find meaning where others see mess. A delay becomes divine timing. A disappointment becomes redirection. Even pain becomes a portal through which light enters. You begin to understand that miracles are not interruptions of life, they are life, seen clearly. Sometimes you will be used as the miracle itself. A word you speak, a touch, a prayer, or even your presence can become the channel through which heaven releases healing or peace to another soul. You won't need to announce it. You'll simply feel the atmosphere shift. And in that stillness, someone's burden will quietly lift. That is the purpose of the blue flame, to make you a carrier of what others are still searching for. The light in you becomes medicine for those trapped in shadow. Without striving, you begin to embody what people call hope. As this power flows, you'll find that gratitude becomes your natural language. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start whispering, "Thank you." The more thankful you become, the more heaven entrusts to you. Gratitude expands capacity. It stretches your spirit to receive more light, more clarity, more miracles. And even when something doesn't look like a miracle at first, you begin to wait differently. You stop panicking in the middle of process, because you understand that sometimes heaven hides progress inside delay. The seed doesn't look like the tree, but the promise is already in the soil. Your role is simply to stay available. Let the blue fire do what it was sent to do. Let it burn through doubt and ignite faith again. You are not the source, you are the channel. The current flows because you stay open. Miracles will follow you not because you demand them, but because you have become the atmosphere where they can survive. Hope feels at home around you now. Peace finds rest in your presence. Even people who don't know your story will feel the calm of heaven when they are near. This is what it means to walk in divine rhythm, when your daily steps harmonize with eternal timing. When your life becomes a living testimony that God is still active, still moving, still near. You do not have to explain it. You simply live it. And when others ask what changed, you will smile and say, "I did not chase miracles. I learned to recognize them." Because once you see life through blue fire, every breath, every sunrise, every heartbeat becomes a quiet miracle in motion. You walk differently now, lighter, quieter, aware of every holy detail unfolding around you. The veil between prayer and proof has dissolved. What once felt impossible has become natural because your faith finally learned how to rest, not rush. And in that rest, miracles multiplied. They do not shout, they shimmer. Every breath carries evidence of grace. Every sunrise feels like a personal promise whispered from heaven's heart to yours. The miracles have settled into your rhythm now. What once felt supernatural has become familiar, not because it has lost power, but because you have learned to live in continual awareness of it. The weight of glory rests upon you, not heavy like burden, but dense like meaning. It surrounds you with quiet authority, the kind that does not demand attention but naturally commands it. You begin to notice that glory does not always shine. Sometimes it hums. It moves like warmth through your chest, like stillness that holds more presence than any noise ever could. This weight is not meant to crush you, it anchors you. It keeps you from drifting into pride or distraction. Heaven's glory never inflates, it grounds. The blue fire within you has matured into balance. It no longer flares wildly at every challenge. It burns with steady devotion. This is the difference between calling and character. Many awaken, but few are willing to be tempered. You have walked through enough refining to carry power without losing humility, to hold authority without needing attention. You now understand that glory is not given to make you impressive, it is given to make you invisible, so that only God's reflection is seen through you. The closer you walk with light, the less you need to prove you have it. There are moments when this glory feels almost tangible. You may feel the air thicken around you, or a warmth rise in your hands, or a quiet joy that needs no reason. These are not fleeting emotions, they are signatures of heaven's nearness. The same glory that rested on the prophets now breathes through you. You are not a spectator of divine movement, you are part of it. The scriptures describe this sacred weight with unmatched poetry, as written in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 18. And we all, who with unveiled faces contemplate the Lord's glory, are being transformed into his image with ever-increasing glory, which comes from the Lord, who is the Spirit. This transformation is continuous. Glory is not a single moment, it is momentum. It grows as you grow, deepens as you surrender, multiplies as you serve. Every act of obedience adds another layer of brilliance to your being. The more you yield, the brighter you become, not for display but for impact. Yet the glory carries its own challenges. It isolates as much as it illuminates. You will find yourself pulled away from noise, from crowds, from endless distractions. The Spirit may call you into stillness when the world rushes ahead. Do not resist this separation, it is sanctification. Heaven often hides its brightest flames until the time of unveiling. You will also feel compassion rising stronger than before. True glory does not distance itself from pain, it bends down to heal it. The more you carry divine light, the more you notice those trapped in shadow. You will find yourself drawn to help, to listen, to lift others not out of duty but out of love that has overflowed from the same mercy that once found you. The weight of glory also teaches you discernment. You start recognizing which battles are worth fighting and which are distractions. You learn that not every call for attention deserves your energy. Sometimes silence is the loudest sermon. Sometimes walking away is the most powerful declaration of faith. In this maturity, your peace becomes unbreakable. You no longer fear storms because you've discovered that glory doesn't flee from wind, it rides upon it. The very pressures that once terrified you now carry you higher. Every test becomes confirmation that your foundation is divine. You realize too that glory has sound. It speaks in the language of gratitude, in the tone of wonder. When you walk in it, everything around you starts harmonizing nature. time, even chaos itself begins to bend toward balance. It is as if the universe recognizes the frequency of heaven inside you and responds accordingly. This is why the truly anointed walk gently. They know that glory can move mountains with a whisper. They carry authority quietly, understanding that divine power does not need to prove itself. When they speak, it is truth. When they act, it is love. When they wait, it is wisdom. And you, carrying the same blue flame, are becoming one of them. You are learning to live not as a seeker of glory, but as its vessel. You don't need to chase manifestations, they flow naturally through you. The extraordinary has become ordinary because the divine has made your life its dwelling place. At this stage, peace no longer feels fragile. It feels like a kingdom within you. The blue fire burns constantly, not to draw attention, but to illuminate the path for others who are still finding their way. You no longer speak of transformation as a distant hope, you live it as daily truth. And in this awareness, you finally understand the deepest secret of the chosen glory is not something you wear, it is something you become. The air around you glows with quiet dignity. You are not who you were, and you can feel it not as pride, but as peace. The process has done its work. The blue flame burns pure. Now heaven begins to lower something unseen but deeply felt, a crown of the chosen. It does not descend with gold or jewels. It comes as awareness, as calm authority that no one can steal. It is a crown woven from obedience, patience, and love. You do not wear it to be admired, you wear it because you endured. Every tear became a gem, every prayer a thread of light. This crown represents completion of a season and preparation for the next. It tells the unseen realm that you now carry royal weight, not because of status, but because of surrender. Kings of heaven are not made by power, they are made by humility. You may feel the presence of this crown as warmth at the top of your head, a quiet sense of gravity or sudden stillness when your spirit turns toward gratitude. These are signs that heaven has marked you for greater responsibility. You are now entrusted to lead, to influence, to heal by example. The scripture describes this moment beautifully, as the Apostle James wrote in his letter, chapter 1, verse 12. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. The crown of life is not a distant reward, it is a present realization. You are wearing it now. It's not about ruling others, it's about mastering your own spirit. It's about walking through chaos and keeping peace, about moving through fire and remaining kind. And now, as you stand in this new radiance, you begin to understand something profound. A crown is not meant to make you taller. It is meant to remind you to bow lower. Every time you choose humility, the light from your crown grows brighter. Every time you show compassion, its reflection deepens. You become a living mirror of heaven's gentleness. As you walk through your days, this invisible crown will whisper reminders. When impatience tries to rise, it will weigh you with calm. When pride knocks, it will remind you of grace. When fear calls, it will shine with memory proof that you've already survived worse. Your crown is not ornamental, it's functional. It guides your steps like a compass of light. You will begin to notice that people look at you differently. They may not know why, but they'll feel peace when they're near you. That's the reflection of heaven resting upon your countenance. Now, if your spirit feels touched by this truth, let the connection flow naturally. When you like or share these words, you're not performing a task, you're passing the reflection onward, allowing someone else to see the glow that found you. Think of it as lifting a lantern higher, letting its light reach one more traveler lost in the dark. When you comment, let your words be petals laid on sacred ground. Share what you feel, not for attention, but for alignment. Every honest response becomes a thread in this tapestry of light that stretches across unseen distances. And if your heart feels at peace here, subscribing becomes a return home, a way of saying, I will keep walking under this light. It's like returning to a familiar garden, where revelation blooms in every corner and the blue fire continues to whisper new truths. There will also be moments when gratitude overflows beyond words. In those moments, if you feel led on offering a gift or donation is not obligation, it is worship through generosity. Think of it as placing a small jewel into the crown of another. Every contribution becomes a silent prayer that says, may this light never go out. Giving does not reduce you, it multiplies you. It is the echo of heaven's own heartbeat. When you pour into light, that light finds ways to return to you, reshaped as peace, provision, or unexpected joy. Each act, every like, every share, every subscription, every gift is part of one larger movement. It is how light circulates, how divine fire keeps traveling from one heart to the next. You are not supporting a message, you are extending a mission. The blue flame continues to move because hands like yours keep carrying it. And in the quiet after your giving, you will feel that crown glow again. It will hum softly, saying, this is what royalty feels like, not power but peace, not wealth but wisdom, not applause but alignment. You are now walking as one crowned by heaven. You do not need to prove it. Your peace proves it for you. And as you continue to live, love, and lift others, the invisible kingdom within you will keep expanding light to light, heart to heart, flame to flame. There is a silence after coronation, a quiet unlike any you've known before. It's not the emptiness of absence, but the fullness of peace. You stand beneath the weight of your invisible crown, surrounded by calm air that hums with unseen reverence. The journey has brought you here to the final refinement, where the blue fire burns without consuming, where peace and purpose finally coexist. This refinement is not about proving anything. It is about polishing what has already been proven. You have endured the storms, walked through shadows, and stood when trembling would have been easier. The final fire does not test your strength. It reveals it. It shows you that the divine power you once sought outside has always been living quietly within. Now the blue flame begins to steady into permanence. It no longer flickers between faith and fear. It burns with tranquil certainty. You start to feel this in the smallest moments while breathing, thinking, or simply existing. There is no longer a gap between your spirit and your life. What you believe, you live. What you speak, you embody. What you hope, you create. This phase is not loud, it is luminous. The blue light inside you becomes like still water reflecting the heavens. It shows you yourself clearly, but without judgment. For the first time, you see every scar as sacred, every mistake as instruction, every delay as design. You finally understand that nothing has been wasted. The final refinement is both fire and fragrance. It burns and it blesses. It draws out the last traces of fear, insecurity, or pride that might still linger. You might notice subtle emotions rising to the surface, old doubts, forgotten disappointments. Do not resist them. They are the smoke of what is leaving. You cannot carry smoke into eternity. Scripture speaks softly of this moment of perfection. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 66, verse 10. For you, God, tested us. You refined us like silver. This refining is love's last act. It is God shaping you until He can see His reflection shining perfectly through your soul. The silver must endure the fire long enough for all impurity to rise to the surface. And when the silversmith looks and sees his own face mirrored in the molten metal, he knows it is ready. So it is with you. In this final refinement, the battle between striving and surrender ends. You no longer fight for destiny, you flow with it. You stop demanding answers and start embodying them. The questions that once haunted you. Why me? When will it happen? Am I enough? Fade like echoes in an empty hall. What remains is stillness, rich and holy. You realize that peace is not the absence of conflict, it is the presence of clarity. The blue flame has burned through illusion, leaving truth unshaken. You no longer need to control outcomes because you trust the one who writes them. The need to prove, to compare, to compete, all dissolve in this gentle fire. Even your relationship with time shifts. The rush that once drove you begins to slow. You live moment to moment now, not in fear of missing out, but in gratitude for being found. Every breath becomes a prayer, every glance a blessing. You start to notice miracles hiding in plain sight, the quiet laughter of a child, the steady rhythm of your heartbeat, the simple grace of another sunrise. This stage of refinement also brings balance between doing and being. You move with purpose but without pressure. You speak with conviction but without the need to convince. There's no longer tension between spirit and flesh, they finally walk together. Heaven is no longer a destination, it has become your atmosphere. And though the world around you may still spin with noise, your inner world remains unshaken. The blue flame has carved a sanctuary within your chest where nothing false can survive. From this sanctuary, your words flow softer, your actions carry intention, your silence becomes wisdom. You begin to notice that others are drawn not to what you say, but to what you emanate. They feel peace in your presence, even without conversation. You've become a living temple, a dwelling place of serenity. This is what the final refinement produces, not perfection, but harmony. You are no longer fighting to become the light, you are living as it. The storms that once frightened you now bow at your calm. The same fire that once hurt now heals. The same world that once rejected you now recognizes you. And in the stillness, you finally understand what heaven meant from the beginning, that the purpose of all this was never to make you more divine. It was to help you remember that you already are. The blue flame rests. The silversmith smiles. The work is complete, and the reflection is clear. You breathe, and the world breathes with you. The fire no longer burns, it glows. What was once your lesson has become your light, steady and eternal within you. The world looks the same, yet everything feels different. You walk through familiar streets, but the air hums with quiet divinity. The sky stretches wider, the light softer, as if creation itself recognizes the transformation within you. The full release of the blue flame has come. It is not explosive or violent, it is sacred and serene. The flame you once feared to lose has now become one with you. It no longer flares in bursts or flickers in doubt. It lives in your breath, your thought, your stillness. Heaven has woven its current through every fiber of your being. What began as awakening has become embodiment. You are not reaching toward light anymore, you are light. This moment feels like standing at the edge of eternity while still rooted in time. You sense both movement and rest, expansion and peace. Every cell in your body vibrates with quiet purpose. You realize that God never wanted to visit you temporarily. He wanted to dwell within you permanently. The blue fire is now self-sustaining. It feeds on love, not fear. It grows through gratitude, not striving. It responds not to chaos, but to calm. It is the eternal energy of creation itself, glowing inside a human frame. You have become what you once prayed for, a vessel of divine order, a walking sanctuary of peace. This is not the end of your story. It is the unveiling of your truest self. You were never being transformed into something new. You were being uncovered, layer by layer, until the original design could finally breathe again. The divine spark hidden beneath pain, doubt, and survival now burns freely, unafraid, unashamed. There will still be storms, but they no longer frighten you. You have become the calm they cannot disturb. You walk with a rhythm that matches heaven's pulse. You speak softly, but your words carry the weight of eternity. You live slower, but every step changes the atmosphere. This is what it means to walk as one fully aligned. The scriptures capture this mystery in timeless truth. As written in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 16. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. You understand now that this light is not yours to boast about. It is yours to steward. It is heaven's answer to darkness, entrusted to human hands. The blue fire within you is not possession, it is partnership. You are the continuation of divine purpose, the living echo of a promise too vast for words. In this full release, you begin to notice harmony in everything. The way the wind bends the grass becomes a sermon. The way laughter heals sorrow becomes a miracle. Even silence speaks volumes now. The world hasn't changed. Your perception has. The blue flame has given you new eyes that see beauty in the ordinary and holiness in the mundane. Your life itself becomes prayer. Every gesture, every breath, every glance becomes part of the ongoing dialogue between creation and creator. You no longer separate the sacred from the simple. Folding your hands, comforting a friend, even standing in sunlight, these all become expressions of worship. You have learned that divine power was never meant to elevate you above others, but to draw you deeper into love. The higher you ascend in light, the lower your heart bows in compassion. You begin to notice that the more light you give away, the brighter you grow. This is the final paradox of the blue flame. It increases through generosity, not preservation. Now you walk as evidence that heaven still touches earth. Your peace becomes a prophecy, your joy a testimony. You carry no arrogance, only assurance. You don't need to prove what you've become. Existence itself reveals it. You have found the secret rhythm where obedience becomes freedom and stillness becomes song. At times, you will glance at the sky and feel a deep familiarity, as if the heavens themselves recognize you. That's because they do. You were always part of them, now you simply remember. This is the completion of the circle. The flame that once descended from above now burns within and around, connecting heaven and earth through you. You are both message and messenger, both question and answer, both reflection and source. And as you continue forward, you carry the memory of every moment that shaped you, the darkness that taught you light, the silence that taught you listening, the loss that taught you love. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is forgotten. Everything has become fuel for the eternal glow you now hold. The blue fire no longer needs your permission to shine. It breathes. It blesses. It becomes. You are not striving to hold it, it holds you. You live as one who has touched eternity and returned gently to teach others how to see it for themselves. And in the quiet that follows, the world exhales with you. The light expands beyond form, beyond name, beyond need. You close your eyes, and for the first time, you do not reach upward, you simply are. The flame is free, you are home. And now the circle closes with light. You have walked through the fire, learned from the whisper, worn the crown, and become the calm. The blue flame that once called your name has now taken its home within you and through you. It will continue to travel. But this journey does not end here. Every story of awakening carries the power to awaken another. Each time you like or share these words, imagine yourself opening a window in a dark room, letting one more ray of divine light reach a heart that's waiting. That simple gesture becomes a ripple across eternity, small in motion, vast in impact. When you comment, let it come from the depth of your spirit, not just your fingers. Tell the world what you've remembered about your own light. Every testimony becomes a spark, and together those sparks form constellations across this digital sky, an invisible network of souls who refuse to forget their fire. If your heart finds peace here, subscribing becomes more than a click. It becomes covenant. It is your way of saying, keep speaking. I am still listening. You're not following a channel. You're joining a circle of souls walking in the same rhythm of grace and purpose. And if you ever feel the gentle nudge to give, to donate, let it flow from gratitude, not pressure. Think of it as adding a log to a sacred fire, ensuring that this warmth continues for others who may find it on a cold night of their own. Every seed sown into light returns multiplied, not in coins, but in peace, clarity, and unseen blessings that find their way back to you. The flame endures, the message continues, and you, chosen one, remain the living proof that divine light still walks among us.